Cliff Schecter with us right now. Democracy is coming to Ohio, 1.3 million strong. Cliff, of course, the PR guru and consultant and progressive pundit. Can I call you that, Cliff?
You can call me anything you want.
Okay. Libertas.
How about that?
LibertasLLC.com is the website. And Cliff, I understand that the efforts to undo Ohio governor, the state in which you live, Ohio Governor John Kasich's plan to strip public unions of collective bargaining rights has encountered a bump in the road.
Sadly for them, there are these things called the people, which is nice.
Former Fox hosts don't know about, I guess.
They don't exist in certain places, but there's a big march today, the People's Parade. I want to give a lot of props, respect to Progress Ohio, a local organization that helped push, organize this. There are a lot of people out there. They needed to have, I think it was about 231,000 signatures to get this on the ballot, which is the Senate Bill 5.
Right now, this that's being on the ballot does what?
Well, it gives them the right to vote and repeal this bill. It was
strips unions of their right for collective bargaining.
Yeah, everybody heard about the one in Wisconsin. The one here actually strips teachers, firefighters, and police too. So 350,000 public sector workers are being stripped of their rights.
Okay, so you needed how many signatures?
You needed about 231, if I'm correct, and they should have, from what I hear, they have over 1 million. So there's only a few people interested in this.
I guess they needed 231,000, and they got 1.3 million, is my understanding. This is astounding. And the million signature march last Wednesday, complete with bagpipes, drum lines, antique fire trucks blaring their sirens. How come? First of all, to the best of my knowledge, there was no national coverage of this. I didn't see any, although I don't, I work, I'm on the air so much and run around getting my show together that I don't consume a lot of just kind of mainstream corporate news.
Right.
But I'm guessing that there probably wasn't a lot of national coverage. Was it, first, A, is that guess accurate? And B, was it covered well in Ohio? Do Ohioans know what Kasich is up to?
It's doing a little bit better here in Ohio in terms of coverage, but no, not nationally. And look, this is going on a lot. People are angry. People realize they were snookered. I mean, this is going on today. Tomorrow, you've got a group called Ohio Communities United that's going to be marching, I think, starting at the James W. Bricker building for anybody who's interested. And they're going to be marching to the Secretary of State's office, getting their voices heard on health care and the fact that I'm not the Secretary of State's office, excuse me, but they're going to be marching just to show that Steve Stivers, a congressman now from the Columbus area, has been voting to take away health care from seniors, health care from low-income children, health care from those with disabilities, all to protect tax loopholes for the wealthy and for billionaires. And so you've got this march today, the People's Parade. You've got this march tomorrow. I mean, people here are really starting to get fired up and say, enough is enough. And I think that's great for democracy. Obviously, I believe very much in what they're doing. So good to see it.
Yeah. It's really quite remarkable. How when these rather odious pieces of legislation passed through the Ohio House and Senate and were signed by Governor Kasich, do you think that the Republicans at that point in time might have been looking at what's going on in Wisconsin with the recall elections and things, and just swallowed hard? I mean, and are there any efforts to actually throw the bums out?
Yeah, there are. I mean, we don't have exactly the recall mechanism that Wisconsin has, but this kind of organizing is going on, and you're going to see a lot of you may not see the primaries, but you see a lot of Democrats stepping up to take up Republicans who won in marginal districts that have pushed this radical right-wing agenda. Again, it's not just the unions. They've just put guns in our bars. They've been passing something called the Heartbeat Bill, which would restrict abortion after about 6 weeks. Abortion rights. We do have the most restrictive abortion law in the country, which is just insane to me. They had a fetus come and testify. They put a microphone. I mean, they're a bunch of clowns. They're running a circus. They're doing everything that these right-wing organizations like ALEC and the Heritage Foundation all have dreamt up. And I think they're going to pay for it at the polls. I think that they'll see it because John Kasich has about a 30% at best approval rating now. And people are catching on to what they're doing. So
what are the terms for governor, representative, and senator? I'm assuming it's a state representatives and it's not an assembly, or what do you call? What are the houses called in Ohio?
Well, we've got the state assembly, state house, and the state senate. Okay. So the governor's going to be there 4 years. They're going to be there 2 years. So that's why the assembly.
So these guys are all up for re-election next year.
Yeah, well, they stagger it with the Senate.
Okay.
So they won't all be up, but so that's 4 years, excuse me. But
so half the senators are up for re-election and all the members of the House.
Yes, that's right. And they won a lot of seats in the House last time in districts where, quite frankly, it could have gone either way, except for it was a bad year, as we know. But I don't think people were voting people in to say, hey, guns and alcohol, great mix. Let's have fetuses, fedi, I'm not even sure what to call it. Come in and testify. Let's strip collective bargaining rights from 350,000 workers, including those who teach our children, those that put out our fires, those that protect us, the police. I mean, people weren't voting for this nonsense. This is drawn up these big corporate parties by the Koch brothers and Alec and these guys, and I think they're gonna pay the price for that. And you see it because people on our side are now excited, and they want to go out and march again every day. I mean, these next 2 days, you see this people out there in the streets saying enough.
Right, and all of this in order to pay for multi-$100 million tax cuts to millionaires, billionaires, and big transnational corporations who operate in Ohio. If I have that right.
Well, yeah, as you know, I mean, corporations aren't doing very well right now, so we need to protect those tax loopholes for them, and our hearts are all bleeding for them. So, yeah, that's what the Republicans are doing.
Yeah, as they're sending jobs. Goldman Sachs just came out. They're sending 1,000 jobs to Singapore.
Hey, I'm glad we bailed them out.
Yeah, they're laying off 1,000 people in New York. It's amazing, and it's the same thing. Cliff Schecter, LibertasLLC.com. Cliff, thanks for dropping by.
Thanks as always, Tom. I appreciate it.